We've got a lot to talk about with Bitcoin today, but before we get going, go ahead and check out Capital Curiosities. They're dropping a brand new video today, The Phantom Fortune, How a Fake Billionaire Fooled the Art World's Elite. It's a great channel about financial fraudsters. I've been enjoying the stories that they tell. I encourage you to go check them out. If you visit them from Trade Cave, go ahead and leave a comment on their videos. Just TC, just comment TC. If I get enough of those, they might let me narrate one of the videos. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be pretty happy about that. So go ahead, when you get there, leave a comment, TC, let them know you came from here. And with that said, let's move on to the next thing. So first, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Why are we going to talk about Bitcoin first? Because it's doing something interesting. All right, very interesting. So we're seeing this head and shoulders right here that we thought was going to play out, right? We saw this, it came up, shoulder, head, double top, and then we had a shoulder, boop, and now we're going back up again. And we didn't really go beneath the neckline very much. We barely went beneath the neckline and went up again from there. Is this going to be kind of like that time where NVIDIA looked like it was going to do an absolute head and shoulders dump down, and then they dropped AI and it went flying to the moon from there? Are we going to see a head and shoulders fake out here on Bitcoin? So I'm currently in the point where I'm ready to go long on this again. All right, I've been buying Dogecoin, by the way. I've been buying Dogecoin. I've been buying Sol the last week and a half. I've been buying Iron. I've been buying Mara. I've been buying Corzi. I've been buying, what else? I've been looking at Hive. I've been staying away from Bitfarms. I'm watching Bit Digital because I am interested, because Ethereum is very interesting. But right now, we're kind of at that do or die moment here right now. So basically, it gets above this line right here. So it got above this orange line. This was my go long line right here. You can see my message, go long. That went off. And in fact, I can turn this off now because it already happened. Boom, goodbye. So we're really going to be cooking when we get over this line right here, which is currently at $107,149. We get above that, and we close above there in the next day or two, and yeah, this thing's going to go for the high and possibly further beyond that. But we're at the point in the cycle where if we come back down again, that we don't want to be in this anymore. That something went wrong, something is broken, we're calling a top. Okay, that's basically what we're looking at right now. And ideally, it would be at $100,000, right? If it comes back beneath $100,000, that's it, that's done. We're not coming back, we're not going any further. But I do think that it could easily be manipulated back down to about $100,000 and then fly from there. So I'm actually not putting my invalidation line there. I'm putting it at the daily equilibrium for the volume profile, which is currently at, let me do that, 96,500. And I'm going to go about $200 lower than that. This little doji candle right here that's behind this big thick boy right there, and I'm going to call it about 95.7. Now that's kind of a wide one for a lot of people, and in fact, let me take this. No, that's not it. Let me grab this. Yes, I'm going to unlock that, and we're going to say about right there, 95.7. We're going to lock it down. I'm going to do an alert. And okay, so I'm going to put my alert right there at 95,730. Cycle is over, top is in. I'm going to create that alert. Okay, that's locked in there. Now, I might cut my trades a little bit earlier than that if like we get a strong like red candle that closes beneath 100,000. Like if we get a candle that here, I'll try to find one that is representative of what I really don't want to see. And that's, oh, this one right here. Let me make this nice and big so you can see it. If we get a candle, let me turn off the drawing so you can really see this thing. If we get a candle that looks like this one right here from December 18th, 2024. So December 18th, 2024. If we get a candle that looks like this, that goes beneath $100,000, I'm going to be extremely nervous and I may cut earlier. Why am I scared of this candle? Well, one, look at this huge body on this thing. All right, look at this tiny little wick at the bottom of this thing. That means that buyers let it come all the way down here, barely fought it back up. Right, the next day it fought it back up. Like if I see a candle like this, I'd be looking for the next day to come up, right? And any weakness on the way up, I'd be cutting that trade. I'd be cutting it and letting it come down, because when you get a candle that's got a nice thick body like that, and it's got like no wick anywhere, that is a continuation candle. That is a candle that says the top is in or at least the swing is in, and we're going to go a lot lower. And as you can see, it went how much lower? It went from that closure, it went another 8%, 8.8% down. So, and that candle itself was a 6% candle nearly. So you're seeing a significant drawdown from there. And if we get that at this point in the cycle, and we go beneath these levels I'm talking about, like back beneath $100,000, and we close anywhere underneath this structure over here, I'm going to draw it. We close anywhere underneath this structure over here, anywhere under it. I'm leaning towards the top end of that structure. Anywhere beneath that, that cycle is over. We're coming back down into the 80s, maybe even 70s from that point on. So we're watching that. That means that we're wrong. This time things are different. The 2021 fractal played out again and gave us a slightly higher high and then a failure. That's what's going on there. Now, the alternative is we're going to rocket from here. The alternative is we go up, we hit $115,000, $120,000, close June out there, and then in July we go even higher. That is the other alternative, because let me draw this right here. This looks very much like a bull flag, and I like that bull flag. So I am very optimistic right now, but you also need to understand there's a line in the sand, and that line in the sand really is this equilibrium on the volume profile here at about 96,005, and I'm giving it a tiny little bit of room to breathe with a wick. Right, it could go just a little bit lower, and in fact, you know what, never mind, I'm not going to do that, because if it wicks, I don't close on wicks. I'll let it play out. I'm going to put it on the equilibrium itself of the volume profile, which is 96,492. Okay, it can wick under it, but it can't close under it. It closes under there and opens another candle beneath it. That's it, we're done. We're leaving. As long as that candle doesn't come flying back up green, right? And then if it does, then we'll measure it from there. But basically what we're looking for is a candle that closes beneath 96,492, opens a new candle, and closes that candle also beneath 96,492, and that is saying that, okay, it is over. All right, and I'll be watching that $100,000 level very, very closely. So we could, from here, potentially see a loss of upwards of about 10%. Currently, if you're playing anything leveraged, you could be looking at 20 or 30% loss. If you're playing like BitX, that's a 20% loss from the top that you're willing to suffer. If you're playing options, that could be anywhere up to a 60 or 70% loss that you're willing to tolerate before calling this thing. So that's what's going to happen there. And alternatively, we break this bull flag to the upside and we fly. All right. Anyways, you know what? This is going to be its own Bitcoin video. This is going too long. This is going to be its own Bitcoin video. We're going to do the weekly closes as a separate video. All right, let's do that now.